Core field stabilized. Intaro Adun.
Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered today on Radeon. It's gonna be NaDa and Dewalt, two very friendly people in a PvT for the ages. I'm NaDa, says NaDa. Hi, says Dewalt, top right. It is Dewalt. He's a Russian Protoss player. He's a really nice guy. He streams on Twitch. I just played movies, says Dewalt. Really, says NaDa. Yes, I did, says Dewalt. What a wholesome interaction to start off our Brood War game today. And in bottom left, it is NaDa saying, haha, good luck, have fun. NaDa is a bourgeois of StarCraft. You know that already, right? But it just means he won 7 first-place finishes in Premier tournaments and 2 second-place finishes in Premier tournaments between 2003 and 2008. Those 5 years were dominated by NaDa, man. He's an early bourgeois, and we will never see anything like it again, I feel like. So that's why people say that Sulky is not a bourgeois, because of the dominance that other bourgeois earlier in StarCraft showed against, I think, maybe better competition, more competition, I don't know. Anyway, it's NaDa playing Terran, it's Dewalt playing Protoss. Dewalt is not a bourgeois, he's just the best player from Russia from its entire history. And yeah, RJB sent me this, so let's see what's going on here in this PvT on Radeon. Hit that like button if you're excited to see what Dewalt is going to try to do against NaDa here. NaDa is still playing, man. He is still playing. He is still laddering. He is still trying to compete. But he is not winning ASLs because, man, sometimes when you get older, it gets harder to do esports and other stuff as well. So, barracks coming up inside the main base. We've got an SCV scouting. We've got ourselves a gateway warping. And are you in Korea, says NaDa? Ooh, that's a good question. Is Dewalt in Korea right now? I do not actually know. I'm in China, says Dewalt. What the? Oh, okay. Says NaDa. Fair enough. I'm not getting any lag. Woohoo! Is that happy? Is there supposed to be a semicolon there with those two like lifted eyebrows that are like happy eyes? Or okay, whatever. Whatever. Cybercore coming in. Got ourselves a gas. We're playing this straight up. If I'm playing NaDa, I'm also playing this extremely straight up. I'm not trying to cannon rush him. I'm going back to Russia next week, though, says Dewalt. All right. Nice, nice, nice. There's the expand. Oh, no. Well, a little bit of respect here, right? Oh, that's the crying face right there. The old emoticons, guys. This is before we had emojis. Before we had, like, literal yellow smiley faces, we had to use different key combinations on the keyboard and characters to make faces. And that's one of them. You guys are probably old enough to know what I'm talking about here, but for the young kids, they're like, what is that? I don't understand what that is. And then I feel old, and then my knees hurt, and then my back hurts, and then I go to bed because I'm tired. Anyway, what do we got here? It is going to be a bunker at the front. Scouts in, sees, oh yes, Dragoon production has begun. Wondrous. Any sign of range on the way? No, actually, getting expand before getting the range here is our guy, Dewalt. Bunker coming in anyway. He's like, I don't know. Let's just be safe. This bunker is safe. I don't think he needs it. Maybe he does. I don't know. Dragoons without range are still pretty great. They're still going to get in here and kill your SCVs and kill your Marines and kill your tanks when they show up, and they're very annoying. Just with range, they can outrange the bunker. And range is good at chasing stuff down that's really far away anyway. So there's the Singularity Charge upgrade. Cybercore is spinning like a villain. And everything's looking good. SCV says, you have any, like, proxies up this way? Or do I want to take a Ninja third base in the top left, maybe? Got some options here. Dragoon thinks about going... Wow, dove really deep. I guess wanted to see if there was an expansion there or not. Did he get deep enough to see that? Wait, we can check that, can't we? Deep enough to see it. No, I don't think he did. So he went deep in. He saw the bunker. He didn't see a tank or anything, though, or a vulture. So he's like, you know what? If there's not a tank or a vulture, there's probably an expansion. Dewalt's pretty smart that way. That factory is coming in now, and this has got to be starport, doesn't it? We are hiding a starport up here. We are going for vulture drops, and we're hiding the starport from the Protoss as much as we can. Seems like a fun idea to me. Robotics facility coming in. Could be for Reaver, could be for ye old observatory type stuff. Second factory, machine shop, first upgrade. At this point, probably spider mines and then vulture speed. Dude, this has to be a starport. Build a starport. No! No! What? Is he just here? I think he's just here to scout to see if there's a fast third base coming in from Dewalt, like a ninja up top left. Maybe he's died to that before. Maybe NaDa has lost to a Protoss, sneaking a top left base on him, and he's like, all right. That's quite enough of that, thank you. Never happening again. Engineering Bay, worried about Reavers, and nothing quite on that front yet. Just the Observatory, worried about Spider Mines. Machine Shop is quiet, though. Not really anything happening by way of upgrades on both sides of the map here. We're both making stuff. We're building buildings to give us upgrades later. We're just not doing it yet. Yeah, Citadel, Engineering Bay. Right? These double machine shops are here for tank production, but not getting siege mode. There you go. Finally, Vulture Speed gets fired up. SCV went for the scout, died to Dragoons, which we already saw, and everything's fine. Everything's pretty normal here. Protoss probably want the third base fairly soon. And there are the double upgrades. Spider Mines and Vulture Speed coming in here at about 6 minutes. Supply Depot's coming in a pace. Not getting supply blocked as NaDa, because again, he's kind of a monster and very scary. If you ever, I do have actually a playlist for NaDa. If you ever watched any of those from the old times, like those games are very different from what they are today. There's a lot of one-base play happening in Brood War back in those days. That's a Stargate he's hiding. I don't know if Dewalt's trying to go carriers here off of 2 base and then get into third bases, but it's something he could do. But yeah, a lot of one-base stuff. A lot of NaDa, like, making a couple tanks on 1 base and then building a starport and getting a dropship and dropping the enemy with a couple tanks. And it's like, that, are you going to expand? And NaDa's like, no! Smiley face. That's not how we play StarCraft, silly. And yeah, then we figured out how to expand safely and economically and still not die to people's 1-base attacks. You scout them, right, gotta do that. But you can get away with it. Templar Archives. Is this going to be Arbiters on 2 base? Yeah, there we go. It is. Arbiter Tribunal on the way. Still trying to hide from a scan. Vultures come up, see the third base, see the Dragoons protecting it. Okay, take that. Probe is down. Observer seeing Marines and tanks coming back home. Like, all the way back home. What are you so worried about, sir? He doesn't have any ComSat yet. He doesn't have an academy for that. Nor is he building one. He is getting siege mode, though. So third base is fine because these guys decided not to attack. The Marines and the tanks, I feel like, could have done some good here, especially if siege mode is done, and it is now. It would have been done when he showed up at the third base, but he came back home almost like there was a Reaver drop happening, or he thought there was a Reaver drop coming in, but if there was a Reaver drop coming in, he'd probably have more than 1 turret in his first and his second bases. I guess he got some turrets up there at the main base now, too. Clearing out Spider Mines. DT is out at the wall, just in case somebody tries to run by. DT can clear that out. And yeah, behold, Arbiter production happening in 8 minutes. Big fan. Haven't seen this in a while. It is something you can do. Oh, he loses the ob to double missile turret. That totally sucks. Spider Mines getting wiped out. Charon boost is on the way. There's the Academy. So he's delayed scans for this long. But, I mean, you do want to have scans available at least by the 10-minute mark. If it's going to be carriers, that's enough time for you to scan and see what's going on at least. And maybe try to shut it down at that point. But that also means you actually need to make ComSat stations once your Academy's done. Okay, not happening. NaDa's working on it, man. He's doing okay. Throwing up turrets defensively. Again, killing obs so you can't see the Spider Mines is great. Killing shuttles is also great. Killing arbiters is great. Missile turrets are a big part of this composition, as always. You need some anti-air. You cannot just wander around with only vultures and tanks and hope to win against a modern Protoss. Maybe back in the day, they really wouldn't have anything that you needed to kill that could fly. But even back then, there were obs. So, I mean, yeah, you're always going to have something that can shoot up. Fourth base, warping in from Dewalt at the 12 o'clock position here on Radeon. Zealot legs coming in. Arbiter swinging on over. Does he have stasis yet? I'm not sure he does. Finally, the first scans of the day. Scans in. Doesn't see the important tech, which is the Arbiters, but he's like, there's gonna be something. Is it shuttles coming at me? What is it? Stasis on the research now. Stasis, good. Scans in, sees slow Zealot, and says, ooh, that's a little bit suspicious. Where is the Zealot legs upgrade? What have you been putting your gas towards otherwise? And the answer is Arbiters. But he doesn't know that. He's getting a third base anyway. He's kind of worried about what's going on. He hasn't scanned any carriers. He hasn't seen any carriers. Which, you know, will kind of kill him when he's got 2 turrets. I guess he got a couple Goliaths here too, but still. Pretty scary stuff. Arbiter comes in. Stasis not quite done yet. It's a long upgrade. It's really powerful. As a result, it takes a while. Psystorm coming in as well. Armor upgrade for the tanks in production. And is he going to engage into this? I don't think he has enough. I don't think Dewalt has enough to engage here. I like the Arbiter play. Big fan of the Arbiter play. I think he's waiting for Stasis to finish. And then he's going to go blah, blah, Stasis. And then maybe try to engage right side, left side. Or it's a contain. God, it's a good snipe on that. And Charon boost is done. The Arbiter's like, oh, Charon boost is done at 10 minutes. Never mind. Going home. Guess Dewalt's out of here, folks. He's thinking about expanding down this way. He's got Probe here and Zealot here. And Probe checking these bases. Make sure there's not a ninja coming in from NaDa. Recall immediately gets fired up. He's like, well, I guess I'm not getting in here traditionally. Not if there are Goliaths with range. But what if I recall on a base? Recalling on an expansion's a big deal. Falcon doesn't really like seeing recalls on main bases against Terran. But a recall on an expansion, killing the command center, killing a ton of the SCVs is extremely effective. So Arbiter comes in, goes for the stasis. Just kidding. Thinks about going for the stasis. Comes back in for the stasis. Goes back out for the stasis. Comes back in for the stasis. All right. He knows it's Arbiters now. And blot. Okay, 2 tanks get stasis and a Goliath. That's not bad. Dewalt kind of trying to come across this bridge. Not a good time. Generally, not the best time at all. But, okay, Arbiter still providing that invisibility here. The turret is gone. Not in position to see this. I'm pretty sure a lot of this is invisible. Yeah, some of this is invisible anyway. Then he scans in and sees it. But I think Dewalt is going to hold this. The tanks on the back line are enough. The Vultures against the Zealots were enough. Dewalt pokes in, doesn't lose everything, but not a good trade, I don't think, for him in the long run. Throwing up a starport. He's like, maybe we want some Wraiths. Wraiths, Science Vessels for EMPs against the Arbiters is always a great idea and a great move. The greatest of move. Top left base coming in. And Dewalt thinking about expanding down here, but nope. Good job with the Vultures being out of the map, being active, and sniping out the probe down at the bottom right. That's not happening. Also, this Vulture attack is going to deal with this Zealot and kill him too. Nicely done. Nicely done. Top left base is warping in from Dewalt, though. He's fine. Could have expanded bottom right or top left. Either one's probably okay with him. And he's going for the top left now. +1 attack done for the Dragoons and the Zealots. The Vultures are at 1-1. Better upgrades here from NaDa to this point. And there you go. There's the control tower. We've got a science facility in somewhere. Ah, no, it is coming up. Right here? Yep, science facility inside the natural base. Kidder and Amulet is in production. We've got more forges for more upgrades. We've got an armory for more upgrades. We are getting into late game PvT here, man. Speed lots, ranged dragoons, arbiters, siege tanks, vultures, science vessels. We are going for a heavyweight bout here. I really don't like crossing this bridge. Dewalt really likes crossing this bridge. He keeps trying anyway. Arbiter comes in, probably going to die. Gets the stasis off on 2 more tanks. Gets out of there alive. Does not die. Stasis, too many tanks, fall back. Like I said, just coming across the bridge in general is a scary experience. Doing against NaDa when he's just got his entire army parked here is impossible. Bottom right, held by vultures. Still, top left happening. There's a new base coming in for Dewalt. That is going to be his 5th. Against a 3-basing Terran. Time for NaDa to move out. Is that 2-1 time? Not really. The +2 attacks on the way. EMPs on the way, more importantly. Stasising vultures. Not exactly the priority target, but it can be very good if you have a lot of zealots. Arbiter comes in. Stasis' back line of tanks. And Dewalt says, it's time to go. Charge in. We've stasis 3 of the tanks. And now another stasis and a bunch more of the vultures. 1 more tank gets caught in it as well. Arbiters providing their DPS. As embarrassing as it is in this battle, Zealots trying to get as many tanks as they can. Dragoons allowing the Zealots to tank for them and get as many of the tanks as they can as well. The goal here is to kill the tanks. So he kills a bunch of tanks. He gets out of there. The stasis is going to wear off. I don't think he's in any position to make sure that these dudes die when they come out of stasis. And I think Dewalt recognizes that too. He's down 20 supply to NaDa. Not ideal. 4th base landing 6 o'clock from NaDa. Coming up the left side with the vultures is NaDa. He does. Oh. DT tries to take care of it. Spider Mines wipe him out. Probe gets sniped. Vultures into the main base, sniping a High Templar. What a sick engagement here from these vultures. They're injured. They've been stormed, so they don't really want to engage with that cannon as much as you might want to be, but he parks it just out of range of the cannon. Oh, that it can hit these probes on the outer edge of this mineral line. Dude, NaDa, this is brutal stuff, man. Ridiculous, brutal stuff. On the move out. Again, he will have that 2-1 eventually. It's just a long upgrade. More ComSats in production, more scanner stations. And now 6 bases rocking here from Dewalt. I'm worried about this. NaDa's maxed out. Dewalt's at 183 supply. I mean, it's close, but man, you need every bit of supply if you're going to hang with what's going on here. Stasises can do what they can, but man, you need stasis 5 tanks and there are still 15. It's tough. Is he going to recall in here? He's got to be. It's got to be a recall into this 3rd base. He does. He recalls in a bunch of Dragoons, snipes a tank. That tank runs away. I'm not sure these guys can get as much damage done as was hoped, but sort of going after supply depots, kind of going after ComSat stations. Not really targeted all that much here. There you go. Moving back, trying to right-click on an SCV, maybe? No, just kind of backed into a corner, killing as many vultures as he can before everything goes terrible for him. And at the end of the day, all these Dragoons are going to die. And he's got 3 kills, which is fine, I guess. Double Arbiter to the 6 o'clock. Is it a double recall across the sky? No. Oh, well, they got EMP'd now. I think maybe there was a window to recall, but the EMP swings in, shuts it down. NaDa is doing all right, man. He got recalled once, but he's not dead, not even close. He saves that base. He saves this base. He's doing just fine. Arbiters getting into fights with Goliaths. Not what they want to do. They really don't want to get into fights with anything unless the thing can't fight back at all. In which case, it's fine. 71 SCVs from NaDa, expanding bottom right side to a 5th base for him. 6th base running for Dewalt, swinging down the left side. This supply depot wall is still up, mind you. So breaking through, it's just going to take time. It's not impossible. It just takes time and allows the Terran army to get repositioned to somewhere where you're going to die if you try to get in there. I love that we're sharing this kind of bottom right corner. Dewalt getting a 7th base in the bottom right while the 4th base of NaDa is coming in. I don't know where these SCVs are pulling to. You could just return to that command center, sir. All right, he does bust through the supply depot wall. Into the 3rd base again we go. Zealots on top of the tanks. Dragoons on top of the tanks. Psystorm on top of the tanks. Into maybe a little more Psystorm, little less Arbiter now is maybe the transition for Dewalt. Kind of seems like that is the case. Great storms. Really good storms. Still, 152 to 147 supply in favor of the Terran. That said, this base is a big deal for Dewalt. If he can hang on to that, he's going to be okay. But with the Terran so nearby, all he's got to do is just poke a vulture up and see that it's there, and I think it's going to die. So Dewalt's taking risks. But if you're going to beat NaDa in a PvT in 2025, you got to take some risks, man. I know it's not 2005 anymore, but he's still a monster. Still very good. Down the right side, Dewalt still has an Arbiter, but production tab is showing Zealots, Dragoons, High Templar. There's actually an Arbiter in there too, never mind. Look at that. Oh, these guys are coming up to build the missile turret Wall of China. Which again is funny because Dewalt is in China right now as of the time this game was played. And he's going to lose an Arbiter to the missile turrets. Almost. 6 o'clock base. Getting recalled on would be hot. No, come up. Stasis some tanks. The Arbiter's jobs. Never done. There's so many options of what they can do. They can engage directly. They can recall. They can just die to Goliaths, I guess. Psystorm, all the things trying to cover this position. Another EMP gets tossed down. This science vessel is an MVP of the match. Without a doubt. Zealots did run up into this top right base, or bottom right base rather, going after all of these Missile turrets. This 7th base of Dewalt looks like it's going to die. Is there any sign of a counterattack coming in from Dewalt? Or is he just going to let this base die and not really get requisite counter damage on the other side? Kills some turrets. Kills a couple Goliaths. Force a liftoff on the command center. Kills some SCVs. It is 68 to 59 workers now for the Protoss. So maybe that was good enough. But yeah, going to lose this Nexus. Maybe not. Reinforcing Storm coming down. 2 storms to kill a tank, as is tradition. Zealots on top of the tank's going to be pretty good too. Vultures cleaning those guys off like cleaning gnats off the back of a water buffalo. I still think this Nexus is dead. It hasn't taken a ton of damage. About half its shields are gone. But yeah, there's just not enough Protoss here to save it. He's trying to make Archon stuff happen and Dragoon stuff happen, but those Archons pop. Spider Mines on the Dragoons, make sure they all die. And yeah, trying to evacuate as many of the probes as we can. We got 7 of them in the shuttle, and the Nexus goes down. Coming across the map, left side to right side is Dewalt. Trying to get to that bottom right corner. I don't know. Where's his army? I guess this is it. This is it when you have 62 probes. Still making more Arbiters. He's not giving up on it. He's just supplementing with High Templar for the Storm, which is always very good in every matchup, no matter what's going on. Arbiter comes in, dies to everything. Got a stasis off right before it died. So, again, it's like Queens. 1 stasis for a dead Arbiter is not a good trade. 1 tank for a dead Queen is not a good trade. It's a much closer to a good trade. I think technically a Queen pays for itself if it kills a tank and dies, but I still think it doesn't pay for itself. Just in a, I don't know, big picture sense, if that makes any sense. I don't know if it does. Trying to get a new 7th base down the left side here, but that means we're splitting the map in half, and that means NaDa is in control. Not literally in control. Rest in peace in control, but you know what I'm talking about here. Dewalt sitting on a 3-2 upgrade setup. We got a 3-3 for the Terran NaDa now, because of course we do. He was at 1-1, and he really got his 2-2s super fast. Shield upgrade coming in. Here comes Dewalt. He's charging down to the middle of the map here. Arbiter trying to see what it's doing. Doesn't have energy to do much of anything. Not that it's been EMP'd. It's just kind of low on energy and it's dead. Maybe you got a stasis off earlier. Dewalt, Zealots. Chomping away on those vultures. Nice D-Matrix on a tank, keeping it alive at least for a little bit here. But again, NaDa able to rebuff the advances of Dewalt. I don't think Dewalt's in a position to win this game, folks. He's down 40 supply. His recalls have not really done as much as he'd like them to do. The EMPs have been too good from NaDa. He's like, yeah, I've been dealing with Arbiters since I was but a wee lad. And I know how to handle it. Thanks. Good try anyway, though. So, again, Dewalt taking this base is nice, but even base count against a Terran is horrendous. I guess, technically, NaDa does have to take this bottom right-sider to be on even base count, but I don't see why he wouldn't be doing that at any point in time now. Still no carrier transition. It's kind of scanning around to see where the army is, not really scanning to see for carrier transitions or anything of the like. And hang on, a second Stargate's coming in. And an air weapons is on the way. So we'll see if he scans for this or not. I don't know if he has the gas to make a ton of carriers. I don't know if he's got the time to make a bunch of carriers. That's when things get really, really dicey, man. It's another scan, but it's just the army. He's not scanning the main base. Dewalt trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm just still making gateway units, dude. Don't worry about me. No bees will show up in your neighborhood anytime soon. Good size storms on these vultures, man. Anything is a good target for Storm. As Tastosis was saying during the ASL 20 casting I've watched already. Waiting on that final, man. Actually, by the time you see this, the final might be over. But it is, Snow versus Soma in that final. Both players looking for their first ASL championship, so either one that wins, I'll be pretty happy about it. Okay, there's the scan. There's the second Stargate. There's the Stargates running. He says, okay, hang on a second. Now, is it just double Arbiter production? Do we not even get a fleet beacon? That's the question. If it's just double Arbiter production with a +1 attack upgrade from Dewalt, I kind of love it. Kind of love that strat from him. Zealot, Scythe, Storm on everything. Charging in, falling back. Yeah, every time today Dewalt has tried to engage with NaDa, he's been shoved back and stymied in every way possible. The targeting on the High Templar has been insane from NaDa today. He's just eaten the stasises, very patiently waited for them to wear off, defended the stasis units, and I don't think he's lost anything to stasis. I mean, not that stasis kills stuff, but you know, the stasis thing, and then the rest of the army dies, and then the Protoss comes in and gets rid of the stuff that comes out of stasis when it does, but I don't think that's been happening. I think NaDa's done such a good job just kind of winning the engagements, even with a stasis, that there has been no cleanup on Isle 4 by Dewalt. He's double pumping Arbiters now. Taking the gas on the left side, the final gas that's available. Still thinking about expanding this way, NaDa, but he's not. Is there an expansion down there from NaDa? No. How many expansions are in that position? NaDa. I don't know if that actually makes grammatical sense in Spanish. This is where it gets tough, man. NaDa comes up the left side, tanks it up, wins this engagement despite losing some tanks or missing some tanks on the left side, stasising some here as well, but winning anyway. Yeah, it's even supply count, actually, but this base going down. He needs it. He needs it to even have a chance of winning this game. There needs to be some of the best stasises I've ever seen in my entire life. Against NaDa, good luck. He's building turrets and kind of like an arc around here in the center of the map, just squeezing Dewalt into the top side as much as he can. Trying to recall on top of these tanks while they're moving. Kind of looks like he sort of wants to. Arbiter's really hovering over these dudes, but no. He doesn't. He gets one stasis off. Arbiter comes in, not enough energy, gets an EMP anyway, doesn't matter. Oh, the humanity. Yeah, I think Dewalt is done here. I'm looking at him. I'd like for him to win one of these engagements today, but I don't think that's happening, sir. I like him. I like Dewalt a lot. He's a great player, but we have yet to see a foreigner player really ascend to the levels that NaDa has gotten to in his career. I mean, look, Isle of OV won an OSL back in like 2003. It was a crazy time. Canadian dude wins an OSL. Is that ever going to happen again? I don't think so. Probably because OSL is dead. That doesn't help. But how about an ASL? Probably not. Anywho's, everything's fine. Dewalt is dead. I like him. I keep saying that, but NaDa, even old man NaDa, still a danger. Not to himself, but to others. So he's got his bottom right-hand base here. Rewarping it in is Dewalt, but 150 supply to 177. Still double pumping Arbiters off of these Stargates. Gets a recall down in this right side base. Forces a liftoff on the command center. Can he snipe it down again? If he focuses it, he can. I do see a lot. Yeah, he's like going after the missile turret. He's kind of shooting at this turret a little bit. He's not targeting the command center. Huge EMP on that whole group of Dragoons and their Arbiter buddy. They're very squishy now. And command center lives. I'm telling you, if you right-click on those things, sometimes the command center just dies. Massive stasises, but just not enough. That's been today. Is Dewalt getting some really good stasises, but it's not enough in the long run to win the battle. He's going to get this command center down into burning, but as far as killing it, I don't know. Oh, hang on. Nah, not going to get that done. Not going to sacrifice his remaining, 3 Dragoons to kill that command center, but then he loses one to Spider Mines anyway. Oh, it's another one. Great. 2 of them to Spider Mines. And this guy has 2 hit points. Maybe he should have just gone for killing the CC. And again, stasis wears off. Everybody comes out refreshed. They took a little nap, and now they're ready to kill Dewalt again. Transferring some probes down the left side of the map, but we have split the map in half. The one time Protoss can win a game where they split the map in half against a Terran is carriers. That's it. That's the one time. To get into carriers, you can be so cost efficient in a PvT that the map is split in half. that you can win, but not when you're just playing Gateway Man with Arbiters. I don't think it's possible to be cost efficient enough. The game is already, we're 30 minutes into this game, and the game has already been so cost efficient for NaDa. I don't think you can make up for it now with some insanely good plays. It'd be a fun upset, but NaDa is just clinical. He is clinically moving, keeping his army mobile at all times. Well, except when the tanks siege up, in which case it's not very mobile, is it? But yeah, Dewalt just doesn't have enough. Look at all this. Look at all this Terran. Look at the spread on the Terran tanks here, too. A little bit clumpy down at the bottom, but pretty good on the top side. Yeah, getting free kills. High Templar gets a storm off. Actually makes it back to his friends. I thought he was going to die. I did. Sniping a High Templar. Sniping another High Templar. Golly, gets another one. Ultra control. Tank control. Missile turret production, EMPs have just been connecting non-stop today. Dewalt, he's just in the throes of a boa constrictor or a python. He's just feeling those coils wrapping around him, squeezing tighter and tighter. He can't quite breathe as well as he used to be able to. And eventually, darkness comes. I think that's what's happening for Dewalt here. Might be a simultaneous attack on the left side and the right side. Falling back. Doesn't want to overextend. This is the mini-map of a Terran that doesn't want to die to a counterattack. Look at this. Where's your counterattack lanes? There's spider mines everywhere. There's tanks everywhere. Left side to right side. It's a big map. It's hard to cover all these angles, but NaDa's got it figured out, man. There is no counterattack potential. And if you try to get a recall off, there are turrets everywhere. Look at this. Look, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 turrets there. Look, he's going to try it. And then, yeah, he gets a stasis off. The Arbiters, okay, 2 Arbiters die to the turrets. And here's the counterattack, like I was talking about. He's trying to make it happen down this way. Gets a good stasis. Going to help quite a bit. But then NaDa goes, okay, I'm just going to come over here, kill everything, come over here, stymie this attack. Arbiter does get a stasis. There it is. 3 more tanks get stasis in. NaDa struggling a little bit here, but really doesn't seem like it. Confidently coming in, sieging his tanks up. These tanks are sieged up in range of the Nexus. I think they are. They just don't have the vision to get the shots off. Arbiter recalls on top of the sieged up tanks. Okay. That's the kind of move that can maybe help you win this game. He kills every one of these tanks. He does. However, this right side attack is rebuffed, and once again, he's forced to fall back home. He saved that Nexus. But what he needed to do was kill this attack and kill this base. But unfortunately, more tanks are here, and that's it. Dewalt GG's out, down 150 to 114 supply, and Dewalt TV is gone. Again, check the description of the video for a link to Dewalt's channel. It's a good one. Holy Hannah. All right, that was a lot of fun. That was a fantastic showing, dude. What a great game there from NaDa. Just looks unstoppable, looks incorrigible, looks you cannot get him to go home at all, and Dewalt doing his best. Good stasises, but I really think the key to this game was every time there was a stasis, NaDa kept the stasis units in protection, in police protection, until the stasis wore off, and then they were fine. Except for the, well, no, these guys just got recalled on, right? Yeah, these guys got stasis. They're all fine. Insane plays here from NaDa. Insane. Macro, 300 APM from him as a Terran playing mech. That is so fast. And then, yeah, again, look at this. From the left side to the right side, purple. There's just purple everywhere. You can't get down here for a counterattack without it being seen and intercepted, which is exactly what happened here. So carriers might have been good, but again, Carron Boost was researched so early, I'm just not sure if that would have worked out in the long run, and Dewalt maybe agrees with me on that. So, man. All right, 306,000 to 322,000 points. Actually, more points here for Dewalt today, 322 to 306. Interesting. Oh, no, for NaDa. I read that backwards. I'm dumb. We've got an outproduction by the Terran and an outkill by the Terran. Lost more by the Terran, but not by a whole lot. We had more buildings constructed and more buildings raised. We had resources by Dewalt, outspending by a whole lot here. That is a big chunk for 32 minutes. But this units tab right here, where you outproduce the Protoss and you outkilled the Protoss, means you're doing okay. So, GG, man. What a fantastic showing. What a beautiful play there from NaDa. Not really all that surprising of an upgrade, or an upgrade of a result, but it's all good anyway. Very fun game regardless. Love to see Arbiters. We don't see them nearly enough. Not nearly enough. All right, so that's going to be it from me today. This has been Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, Twitch, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.